Yo, peace. Welcome to another movie collection, part three. Hope you guys have been watching the first two that we recorded. Um, I have a lot of movies, so it's gonna be probably like 10 parts. I mean, no bullshit. I mean, look at this. See, that movies. You know what I'm saying, I gotta take away all that shit and then just take my time. So that's why I'm just doing the big parts. You know what I mean? So. Let me start with the first movie of the day is 8 Mile, released in 2002. You guys should know about 8 Mile, but for those that don't know, 8 Mile's about a guy named Rabbit, as they call him. He lives in Detroit, lives in 8 Mile. 8 Mile is like more of the white trailer. I just like the trailer park where they have the trailer parks and stuff like that. He just broke up with his girlfriend. He's moving back in with his mom, and his mom, played by Kim Basinger, has a boyfriend that lives with her and stuff like that. He doesn't get along with her. He doesn't get along with the boyfriend, so they always have like static and shit like that. And he works at a factory, like a car factory and stuff like that. And then through his pastimes, he goes to open mic. He goes to open mic battles and stuff like that, and to pass his time and stuff like that. Pretty dope. He gained his recognition, his reputation through the battles and stuff like that. Then he meets his girl, played by his new girlfriend, played by Brittany Murphy. Rest in peace. They fall in love and stuff like that, and it is a dope story. You know what I mean? It just shows Eminem how he grew up back in the day. I mean, bits and pieces and stuff like that. How he came up back in the '90s and stuff like that. But very dope movie. If you're a fan of hip hop, definitely a dope movie. The battles are fucking ill. You know what I'm saying? Like sick battles. You know what I mean? But definitely a dope movie. Definitely a must have. If you're a hip hop head or you just like a good movie, definitely pick this shit up. Then we got this movie, City of God, released in 2002. One of my all-time favorite movies of all time. This is definitely recommended. It's pretty much about how Rio de Janeiro was back in the 70s and 80s, and it's about these guys. It's about a gang called the Tender Trio, who a bunch of teenagers, ruthless teenagers, that pretty much become like drug lords and shit like that. That pretty much run the streets of Rio de Janeiro. Like everybody's scared of them and shit like that. And they want recognition for their notoriety. Excuse me. And this kid right here, Rocket, who lives in a favela, which is like the hood and shit like that in Rio. Well, favelas, there's they're like known as hoods in Brazil and shit like that. No outsiders no outsiders are allowed in the favela, because if you're not from there, don't come in there. That's pretty much their message. But since Rocket is part of the favela and he's an inspiring photographer and reporter, excuse me, he has the leeway of giving them pictures, like taking pictures of them and stuff like that. And then he falls in love with a girl and stuff like that. And it's like a dope story. You know what I mean? It pretty much shows you how Brazil is back in was back in the day. Very, very good. A very dope movie. I really like this movie. And what's cool about this is it comes with the special features. It only has like one special feature, which is obviously like the subtitles and the original dialogue that you could play it in. But what's cool about this is that it comes with a documentary, News from a Personal War documentary, which is pretty much showing like real niggas like in fucking ski masks just running shit pretty much. Like it's like some real scary shit, you know what I mean? Like something like if you see somebody in the street wearing a ski mask with a AK-47, like you be scared shitless. You know, I would. You know what I mean? It's like somebody you don't want to fuck with. So he's like, you know, pretty much they're like, pretty much they're like the mafia of the favela, pretty much. But they like young motherfuckers, man. Like, you know, they take care of the people. You know, like if somebody needs medicine, you know, they'll get the medicine like one way or another, you know, shit like that. But like it comes with a price. Like you have to pay them. You know what I mean? Like they could do whatever they want for you, but you just gotta pay them. You know, some form of way. You know what I mean? And that's what they talk about, and it really show how they really get down in the favelas of Brazil. But this is City of God. Definitely pick this shit up. I recommend this for you. Recommend it. Then we got The Infamous Times, the original 50 Cent. This was released in 2005. Very, very dope documentary. It's pretty much about talks about the original 50 Cent that is from Fort Greene, Brooklyn. I think it was from Walt Whitman Projects or Ingersoll Projects, one of the two. But he was how should I say that? He was a stick-up kid, pretty much, and that like would rob like the most notorious gangsters and shit like that. He was kind of like the Robin Hood of Brooklyn, pretty much, and things of that nature. But so he, like I said, he was like the Robin Hood of Brooklyn, as far as like, you know, just like killing all. He was like the hood vigilante, you know, when it came to like killing you know, the gangsters and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I thought that was pretty interesting, and he was very notorious and shit like that. What's cool about this? It comes with two parts, two documentaries. They're kind of short. One's the Brooklyn Bloods, which takes place in Brownsville. You see a bunch of blood niggas in Brownsville and shit like that. Then you have a strip club called Sue's Rendezvous. That was pretty cool, and I believe that's it. You know what I mean? From what I understand, 50 Cent, the rapper, he got his name from you know, from the original 50 Cent. And then there was a part where they asked if what would 50 Cent would do if he was alive, because, you know, he got shot down and shit like that. If the original 50 Cent saw 50 Cent of today, what would he say to him? And I forgot what they said, but it was like they were like approaching him and shit like that. And I guess 50 Cent didn't like what the guy said in the video, and he halted. From what I've heard, I don't know if it's true, but I've heard rumors that he halted the sales of this DVD, and this DVD is actually out of print. You know what I mean? It's very hard to come by, from what I understand. But if you want to look for it, you know, go on Amazon or go to your flea markets where they sell like bootleg DVDs and, you know, shit like that. But this is definitely a dope documentary. If you're into like you know, things about, you know, shit like, you know, things like, you know, Larry Davis and like stories like that. You know, if you like shit like that, you will definitely enjoy this film. This documentary. You want to know about how New York was back in the 80s, especially Brooklyn. This is definitely the documentary you want to check out. This is the original 50 Cent, released in 2005. Go copy if you can find it. Then we got Reservoir Dogs. This was released in 1992. This is the 10-year anniversary. This particular one was released in 2002. Like I said, this movie came out in 92. Excuse me. It's pretty much about a team of people, a team of guys, a gang. They don't have official names. They go by color codes, pretty much. Like you'll have like Mr. Yellow, Mr. Orange, Mr. Pink, Mr. Brown, you know, shit like that. Pretty dope. It starts off as these guys they robbed a jewelry store and stuff like that, and it's pretty much a cat and mouse chase, you know, you know, from the cops and stuff like that. And they had a shootout with the cops and stuff like that. One of them gets shot, and they all meet up in like an abandoned warehouse, pretty much. And throughout the whole movie, that's what it is and stuff like that. It's pretty interesting. And what's crazy is that there's rumors that one of the people in the team is a snitch or a police informer or is an undercover cop. So they're trying to figure out who is it. You know what I mean? So it's pretty interesting. And this is actually Quentin Tarantino's first movie. This is Reservoir Dogs, released in 1992. Definitely go copy. If you like movies like Pulp Fiction, movies like that, you'll definitely enjoy this movie. Reservoir Dogs. Yeah.
Right.
Then we got State Property 2, released in 2005. This is just released 3 years after the first one. It's pretty much like it leaves off after the first one where Beanie Siegel or Beans got locked up in the first one and stuff like that. And in this one he teams up with Nori. His name is Pollo Loco. He's a dude from Miami and shit like that. They team up together and stuff like that. Things of that nature. They team up, and then you still got Dame still beefing with Beans and stuff like that. And this is the crew, the ABM crew and Dame's crew, just beefing with each other and stuff like that. But overall, I felt like this was okay. Wasn't the best. Felt like more like a comedy in my opinion. I mean, you had people like, Mariah Carey and stuff like that. Like, I couldn't take her seriously. I mean, she had a small role. I mean, she looked fine as hell in the movie, by the way. But I just couldn't take her seriously. I mean, you had Cameron, you had MOP, you had Old Dirty Bastard, rest in peace. Stuff like that. I mean, it's okay, but it just felt like more like a comedy. To me, anyways, more so than like the first one, because the first one was like more serious and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But if you're a fan of State Property, you're a fan of Roc-A-Fella, that Roc-A-Fella movement, definitely pick this shit up. State Property, released in 2005. Then we got the infamous Belly, released in 1998. One of the illest hood movies that ever came out, in my opinion. It's pretty much about these two guys, Sincere and Tommy Buns, pretty much just trying to make money, man. They're just trying to, just big drug dealers in the New York area, in Queens in general. They're from Queens. In the movie, it takes place in Queens most of the time. And, just two drug dealers is just on a come up pretty much. They have like a big reputation and stuff like that. DMX, he's like more of the, he's more like the hothead. He's like more of the wild nigga. He's like the trigger happy type of dude. But Sincere, he's like more the laid back, he's more into the whole 5% nation and stuff like that. Like he's more laid back. He's trying to get away from that lifestyle and stuff like that. Where DMX, he's like more into the lifestyle. You know what I mean? So it comes into play. Like it's pretty dope. You got a lot of hating niggas after them just because of their success and stuff like that. It's a pretty dope movie. Very gritty, very dark. Love the cinematography. Love the cinematography of the movie and stuff like that. Definitely one of Hype Williams' best movies. I think it's like the only movie he ever did. Pretty dope movie. I definitely would probably get this on Blu-ray or something like that. I could just imagine the quality on Blu-ray and stuff like that. But this is Belly, released in 1998. Go cop it. I have the soundtrack too. I did a review on that as well. I like the soundtrack. I just wish certain songs that was on the movie were on the soundtrack, and that was like a lot of people's complaints about the soundtrack, because there were certain songs that was on the movie that wasn't on the soundtrack. So, but definitely pick this shit up. Dope movie, hood classic. Then we got a movie called Origami. This was released back in 2002. Very dope movie. Don't remember what this movie's about, but it's been a while since I've seen the movie. To be real with you, but it's definitely a dope movie. Um, Pretty much, from what I understand, for what I remember, is a guy named Origami. He's a samurai. He pretty much wants to like just he just wants to be he's invincible. Like nobody can fuck with him. Um, he just wants to be defeated by one worthy opponent, pretty much. Like he just want to fight somebody that could pretty much take him out and shit like that. And like when he fights somebody that's worthy of his time and shit like that, that's where he'll be satisfied and things like that. That's what I took out from the movie. But like I said, it's been a while since I've seen the movie. But from fans, from the director of Versus and Azumi, this is the movie. This movie is pretty sick. I actually have that movie Versus. I'll do a review on that when I later on, I guess, like when I get to it and stuff like that. I don't know what part I'll do it from, but you know, I'll definitely be reviewing that movie. But this is Origami, released in 2002. Go cop it. Then we got Wu-Tang Clan. Excuse me. Wu-Tang Clan. Excuse me. This is pretty much a collection of videos that they done from when they first came out all the way up to 2002. Cause this was released in 2002. This is a bootleg. I bought this in Jamaica Ave back in '02. I got it, I think, for like $10 or some shit like that. Definitely like a lot of these videos. I mean, it's nothing new. It's videos you could go on YouTube and check out, but I bought it off just on the strength of, you know, just me being a fan. You know what I mean? But this is Wu-Tang Clan with all the videos from when they first started all the way up to 2002. Obviously, this can be out of print, but like I said, a lot of these videos you could check on YouTube. Like I'll show you, I'll name you the videos. Like I Can't Go to Sleep, Gravel Pit, The Jump Off, The Worst, It's Yours, off the Wu-Tang Forever album, dope album by the way. Protect Your Neck, one of my favorite songs. Wu-Tang Clan Ain't Nothing to Fuck With. MATHOD Man, another classic. Cream, classic. Can It Be Also Simple, one of my all-time favorite songs from them. The Mystery of Chess Boxing, Triumph, and Plus More. Pretty dope. Wu, if you're a Wu fan, definitely check this out. Obviously, this is out of print, but like I said, you go on YouTube and check the videos. Next movie is King of New York, released in 1990. My opinion, one of Abel Ferrara's best movies, in my opinion. Very underrated. I feel like a lot of people don't really talk about this movie a lot, unfortunately. It's pretty much a guy named Frank White, who's a drug lord. He just gotten out of jail. After a long bid. Excuse me. And then like he kind of has like a change of heart. I mean, he's still in the drug game, but he has kind of like a change of heart and a little bit, but not really. Whereas he's trying to give back to the community. Whereas he's trying to build a hospital in one of the toughest neighborhoods in Brooklyn and stuff like that. Doesn't say where exactly, but and pretty much like he's greeted by his crimies, like Lawrence Fishburne, who does a tremendous job in this movie. Definitely one of his best movies that he's done, in my opinion. I mean, he plays that role really good, especially Christopher Walken as Lawrence Fishburne. I mean, everybody does their thing. David Caruso, all my CSI fans would know about David Caruso. Wesley Snipes, Giancarlo Esposito, Paul Calderon, very good actor, very underrated in my opinion. Like I said, Lawrence Fishburne, they all do their thing. If you want to know what New York was like back in the late 80s, early 90s, this is the movie to check out. What's cool about this, is a 2-disc set. I'll name you the features. You know, obviously the widescreen, the full screen, 5.1 Dolby Digital Sound, 2.0 Dolby Digital Sound, has an audio commentary with Abel Ferrara. It has an audio commentary with producer Mary Kane editor Anthony Redman, and composer Joe Delia, who did the score of the movie. Associate producer Randy Sabusawa. A short film about the long career of Abel Ferrara, which is pretty cool. An insightful documentary about about Ferrara's career and the making of King of New York, pretty dope. The Adventures of Schoolie D. Snowboarder, a portrait of Schoolie D, the father of gangster rap and the inspiration behind King of New York. Yeah, Schoolie D, very underrated in my opinion. I feel like he's one of the pioneers of gangster rap in my opinion. And he doesn't get mentioned a lot in my opinion, because a lot of people like to say Ice-T, and there's nothing to take away from Ice-T. He's definitely one of the gangster fathers of gangster rap, but I feel like Schoolie D was definitely part of that realm too, as well as Just Ice in my opinion, who doesn't get mentioned at all, which is fucked up. But English Spanish subtitles, TV spots, Schoolie D music video, the King of New York video, and the theatrical theater. A very dope movie, very dark, gritty. Love the cinematography of this movie. King of New York, released in 1990. Definitely pick it up. See what time I got left. Yeah, I still got a little bit of time, not much left. Okay, then we got Mobb Deep's infamous Allegiance Part 1, released in 2003. It's pretty much showing Mobb Deep, shows like interviews, like behind the scenes, like seeing them recording songs and stuff like that. This was with what's cool about this is actually comes with here's a DVD and it comes with the soundtrack pretty much and stuff like that. And this was made around the time when they released the Free Agents album. Pretty dope. Good to see Mobb Deep, when they were cool with Littles and Illa G and things of that nature. Comes with videos and stuff like that. It's pretty dope. This is Infamous Allegiance Part 1, released in 2003. This is actually out of print, so if you can find it, definitely pick it up. I'm trying to get Part 2. That's actually hard to find too, but I'm definitely gonna be looking for that. But pick it up if you're a Mobb Deep fan. Boys in the Hood, very dope movie, definitely recommended. It's about 3 kids that grew up in South Central Los Angeles. You got Trey, played by Cuba Gooding Jr. You got Ricky and you got Doughboy, both brothers. Ricky and Trey are best friends and stuff like that. They both playing the football team. Both of them are in high school. They're pretty much in the right path, trying to stay on the right path and stuff like that. Whereas Doughboy, he's like the drug dealer. He pretty much going the wrong path and stuff like that. It really show you how South Central really is and stuff like that. Pretty dope movie, very good for its time. I definitely want to get this on Blu-ray because for the special features. This is the bare bones edition, but this was released in 1991. Pretty dope movie, very effective, very gritty, dope. Definitely. And this is actually Ice Cube's first movie, so that tells you right there, the acting's impeccable. Alright, Boys in the Hood, go cop it. Then we got Ren and Stimpy, Uncut. This is the first and second season. This was released in when did this came out? I think this came out like back in 04, 05. It's just like a collection of like the first all the episodes from part 2. Of season 1 and 2. Pretty dope cartoon. One of my favorites. My opinion, if it wasn't for this cartoon, we wouldn't have cartoons like Family Guy, or we wouldn't have SpongeBob. You wouldn't have Beavis and Butthead. You wouldn't have South Park or none of that's one of those cartoons. In my opinion, just like the shit that they do, it's very nasty. You know what I mean? But very dope cartoon. Excuse me, I keep saying movie for some reason. Ren and Steven Uncut. I didn't get the second. I need to get the other ones, but I don't know if they're out of print. But definitely need to get those. But if you're a fan of Ren and Stimpy, early 90s cartoons like I am, this is shit I grew up with. You know what I mean? definitely pick this up. Last but not least is Beef 2. I think I have part 1. I think I gave that away, but Beef 2 is pretty much MCs that they had beef that had beef. It shows showcases beefs that artists had with other artists and stuff like that. It talks about beefs that include 50 Cent, D12, Redman, Method Man, Cannabis, Royce the 5'9", KRS-One, Nelly, Ice Cube, Mac 10, Cypress Hill, DMX, K Solo, Sticky Fingers, Federal Star, Paris Smith, Kumo D, Angie Martinez, DJ K Slade, Big Daddy Kane, Davey D, Cold Crush Brothers, Molly Mall, Roxanne Shante, Kangaroo Kid, Kevin Paul, Afeni Shakur, an exclusive archival Eminem, footage of Eminem, L Cool J, Westside Connection, Cypress Hill, and others. It's pretty dope. It's not too bad. For its time, it was good, but then after a while, just watching it again, it's like once you watch one, you see no more. My only beef was with this is that they only showed stuff that the stuff that the mainstream artists went through, like they never really show like the unknown beefs and stuff like that, like beefs like with Lords of the Underground and Lord Finesse, where Lord Finesse pretty much called out. I think he called out Do It All from Lords of the Underground, because he used to call himself the Funky Man, the Funky Child, but Lord Finesse was known as the Funky Mans, and so he kind of went at him, for them taking their name, and I just wish they would include beefs like that, you know what I mean, or like beef with Boogie Down Production and X Clan, shit like that, you know what I mean. But overall, dope documentary. And that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed that review. I mean that movie collection. So stay tuned for part 4. Peace.